Hi there, and welcome back to Triplicate, and today yet another video on my continued saga of trying to get together a cheap power amplifier for my little workshop come office, just so I can listen to some music. And you're probably thinking, as I am at this point, why didn't I just go out and pay decent money for an amplifier? However, it's not half so much fun as tinkering around with stuff. So the story so far, despite 2 videos worth of trying, I have not managed to get this TPA3116D2 based PWM output amplifier to work without being very noisy or buzzy or just generally rubbish. So I have decided to away with it and instead try that one. So this is how it came, with the heatsink bent over, I guess, to minimise the packing. This one is TDA7297 based, and it's a dual bridge. On the screen you'll see a picture of the block diagram, and it's rated 15 watts a channel, which is fine for in here, and it's just a conventional bridge power amplifier. So we're going to give this one a try. The first thing I want to do is, as always, push the zoom the wrong way, see if I can get this heatsink upright without breaking anything. That wasn't too hard. So there it is in all its glory. Power amplifier, heatsink, it's got a volume control, left output, right output, 12 volts, it runs off 12 volts, can be 6 to 18 volts it claims, and signal input via a socket, which I'm never very keen on, and the volume control. And to mount it, I bought, let me zoom out, the right way, a metal box. This is Hammond manufacturing, made in Taiwan, just a die-cast aluminium box. So I think the first thing to do is just power it up on the bench and try it. Okay, for now just connected the power up, 12 volts off my bench power supply with the current turned right down, and I'm just going to turn the current up and check that all seems to be well. Yep, comes up to 12 volts, drawing very little current, unmeasurable, and there is a very groovy blue LED comes on. Ooh! Okay, I shall now take my voltmeter and see what the volts are on the outputs. So that's the negative. Yep, that's the negative. So the positive is showing 13.5 volts. There, it's 12 volts it says, so we'll have something like 12 volts. So each output, because of course it's a bridge, so we would expect that to be at about 6 volts, 5.83, 5.83, 5.84, 5.9. Let's try this again. I didn't get anything out of it. Oh, good. Nothing. Why is that? Okay. Get out of your way, yeah. 5.9 on that side and, well, nothing on that side. Right. Why should that be? Let's just try on the bottom of the board. So that is the ground. That is 12. Nothing. 5.9. How about that? 5.9 there. Nothing there. Good, we've got a dry joint on the board. That's not a good start. So I shall power off, get a magnifier out and have a look at that. Okay, would you believe it? The chip isn't soldered in. And it's just amazing, there was only one pin that wasn't actually making contact with the pad. I shall solder the chip in and we'll try again. Okay, so there we are. We've run the soldering iron along the amplifier chip wires and they're all soldered on now, so shall we try again? Okay, so I've turned the current limit right down again, so we turn the power on, ease the current limit up. Yep, comes up nicely, it doesn't draw a lot of current, the LED comes on, so we're good so far. So, should we turn the meter back on and check all the voltages? So the supply is nicely at 12. The amplifier outputs are at 5.8, 5.8, 5.9, and this was the one that was missing. 5.9. Okay. And we've got the volume turned right down, so I shall just put it on volts AC and just check there isn't any crud coming out of there. A few millivolts and a few millivolts. Right, should we connect the speakers up to it and see what happens? Okay, so had to take the thick speaker wire, decent speaker wire, and solder a piece of copper wire on the end to get it in the terminals of the old module, because they weren't big enough to take the speaker wire, and of course the terminals of the new module are smaller still, so I've had to solder a smaller piece of wire on the end. I will sort that all out when I come to put it all together finally, but for now that's what we've got. Right, so let's just check it's all a bit pillar to postish. Should we power her up and see what happens? Well, didn't go thump or anything. Turn the volume up, we've got a bit of hum. Don't know what the earth is doing. There we go. That's an earth wire. Earth it to earth and it hums more. Back to hum problems, but anyway, that's not the fault of the amplifier. Alright, this is the wire from the mixer, so we're going to plug this in and see what happens. Okay. Hum reduced if our ground meets the ground. Okay. Okay, so volume at minimum. This is the output from the mixer. We have on the computer a pulsar demo track, which I shall turn on. You might very faintly hear it, that's the headphones. Okay, that seems to work okay. Can't fault that. Still a bit of hum there, but if I touch the heatsink, which is connected to ground, it reduces. So I think if I now mount that in this here metal box and make sure that's grounded, that should get rid of that hum. So shall we start that? Turn the power off. And plastic off this. Oh, some screws. So if I mount that there, I'm going to make the speaker leads tight. However, I'm sure I can overcome that. I can't see any way of connecting the heatsink to the case of this, so for the minute I'm just going to leave it enclosed. I don't think it's going to get hot enough to be a problem, even enclosed in this box. So we'll see. So I guess I mount that there, so the knob comes out of the front of the case. Okay, so I'm gonna turn you off, pull all the wires off this and go and drill some holes to mount it. Okay, 3 holes drilled in the lid of this box, which is going to be the bottom. Got us only 3 holes in the board. The input socket's in that corner. So I am going to put some Compton tape on the bottom of here. I'm absolutely sure that component leads poking out of the bottom of that PCB don't touch the box. Oops. Using screws. There we go. I'm going to test meter lead. Poke through these holes again. Okay. M3 nylon screw, M5 nut by way of spacer, and again, and number 3, come on, there you go. And the PCB on. There we go. And somehow get 3 nuts on there, which I might spare you. Yeah. Spinning nuts down very long screws. You get the idea, there we go. Okay, I'll finish that off and make a start on drilling holes. One in the front for the volume knob, one in the side for the inputs, and some ways of getting all the other wires in and out. So here we are. We've got a hole in the front for the volume knob. We've got a hole in the side to get the input plug in. And what I've done is I've screwed this to the top for the power and the speakers, and there's a hole for them to come out there and they'll be routed around inside. And I'll just put some heat shrink by the hole because they're not going to move around much. And much to my surprise, we'll put the top on. The volume knob works, and the socket goes in the side like that. So now I'm going to wire these 6 to here, and we're going to put it all back together, and hopefully it'll still work. And again, I'll spare that and bring you back. Okay, so here she is, all wired up. Not exactly the most elegant way of getting the connections in and out, but there you go. Not a commercial unit. And all that's left is to give it a bench test, shrink that heat shrink, screw it together, and put it into service. So we'll give it another fire up. And a bit of hum. Because the input's floating. If I can. And still a bit of hum. Hum in here. However, let us okay, that would seem to be working. So let's get it put back together. And let's try it with the power supply I originally got to run the power amplifier with. So, if I turn her on. Nope. That's not good. So, a power supply is no good for audio amps. So I guess I'm going to run it off the battery bank and source a quiet 12 volt supply. And there she is, installed in place. Not pretty, but just there to do a job. Currently running off this assemblage of batteries till I sort some sort of a power supply. And it wasn't even humming too badly when I fired it up without the music running. There we go. Can't hear any hum at all. So just back that off a bit. So I think that's been pretty successful, and I think at this point it's time to call it a day on this video. So if you like the channel, please subscribe, leave a comment if you've got anything to say. A thumbs up would be nice, and for now it's goodbye from Triplicate, home of interesting electronics. And time for a tidy up.